I've lived in Brandon for more than 30 years, and I've lived in the United States my whole life. A point was made in the last speech that we need for this to be placed, consistent with statute, in an appropriate place. I'd like to put a little finer point on that. That statue can be there where there's gas exhaust, where there's horns, where there's squealing brakes, or it could be placed in a cemetery where there's already a stone that says this memorial is dedicated to all Civil War soldiers buried in this cemetery. It has flagpoles. It has officers from the Confederacy. It has 2 governors who served this state during the period of Reconstruction. There could not be a more serene, dignified place to address this history than the Brandon Cemetery. One of the issues that has not been addressed, and it's the only reason I came up here other than to show this picture, is that because of the history that we celebrate, not necessarily with that wonderful young man who represents somebody who gave his life for what he believed in, but for the hateful plaques that are associated and pinned on all 4 sides of the cemetery, is that our children do not like this place as much as they could. Our children are leaving the state of Mississippi and leaving the city of Brandon for more cosmopolitan, more forward-thinking places. You've seen the billboard that says, move the statue to a more dignified place, move Brandon forward. The statue is also a lightning rod for protests. We have had protests with armed people wearing masks, carrying military-style weapons, with people posting on Facebook, this is scary. John Toney said, let's make this a place where we invite folks. That's not an invitation. That's not Brandon. That's just not who we are. We're friendly. And we can do the right thing here, and I appreciate the courage that this board has already shown in getting the estimate to see how much it's going to cost. I've told every one of you, I'll put in the first $5,000. I'll raise more. I've already had other organizations say that they will help. And that's because it's worth that investment to keep our kids here and to make Brandon truly the shining star that it should be. Thank you very much.
I wish his daughter would be one of these progressives that
would leave
right out of here. I mean, you could call it brain drain, but that would be to insinuate that she had a brain to drain.
Yeah, he did fire her.
Yeah. Well, I said there's some points he made. I didn't think it was a terrible speech, to be honest with you. I'm being fair about it. I think I don't agree with moving it. I mean, if the voters want to do it, they can do what they want to. It's not, but I don't think it's. I think it's
pretty.
I think it's different than the flag issue. I kind of like I was saying before we went on. I feel like there's a difference to that. I think the statue is nice too, and so I don't know that I tend to lean against getting rid of all history, because we have a big problem in this country where we don't even understand our history or even know it. Most people don't. I think they said something like it's over 70% of college seniors cannot pass a basic civics exam.
And now Mississippi has chosen to stop testing for history altogether.
Right, that's exactly right.
I want to address
go ahead
real quick. Jonathan Barnett says it's about economic development. I've said it plenty of times. I don't think there's a single business that has avoided coming to Brandon because of that statue. I would love for you to give me a specific business that has chosen not to come to Brandon because that statue is there. And I'm not one of these Confederate drum beaters here. I'm not into the Dixie stuff. I was for changing the flag, but I am against moving these statues. These statues were here before most of. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that these statues predate all of our current existence on this earth. When was it put there? 1900 something?
Yeah, something I think that 1901, 02, around there. I believe that's right.
The statue predates all of our existence on earth, much less in Brandon. If you don't like the statue, I recommend moving from Brandon. If the statue hurts your feelings, I would recommend relocating from Brandon. If the statue bothers you that bad, just like if the flag bothered you so bad, I would recommend relocating from Mississippi, even though I was for changing it, had no problem with changing